Pop quiz, gentlemen. What do American, Australian, and Chinese tourists all have in common? Can you guess it? They are loved by pickpockets all over the world. Why? Because they're easy to spot, they usually carry a lot of valuables, and they are unaware of what's going on around them. In today's video, gents, I'm going to talk about 5 common problems that all travelers face. And specifically, I'm going to focus in on security so that when you travel, you're less likely to become a victim. Problem number 1 with most travel clothing is it makes you stand out like a sore thumb. You know what I'm talking about? That expedition gear. It looks like you're going to go climb Mount Everest. You're just flying to London. You're just traveling to New York. You're just visiting Barcelona. Come on, you can dress like the locals. You want to more fit in. Don't wear those heavy, big expedition backpacks. Yes, you can fit a lot into them, but instantly it screams, this person is not from here. This person is a great target. That fanny pack. I mean, come on. Yes, you've got it in front of you, but everyone knows that you're just a tourist. And that's the biggest problem I see with travel clothing, is it sends this signal to the entire world, hey, I am not from here, so take advantage of me. Now, all of that leads us into problem number 2, which is security concerns. So first up, we talked about blending in. Don't be wearing that travel clothing that makes you stick out because you will be targeted. Next up, maintain a sense of awareness. Don't be out there getting drunk, using drugs, putting yourself in that situation where you don't know what's going on. Next up, be aware of the risks in your city. There are certain cities which just have higher petty crimes. So we're looking at Paris, we're looking at Barcelona, we're looking at Madrid, Prague, Rome, London. Next up, know where the petty thieves congregate and what some of their common strategies are. So if you're in Paris and you're going to the Eiffel Tower, you need to understand there's going to be a lot of pickpockets there. Why? Because there's a lot of targets there. Because it's enough room between people that they can run over and snatch a phone and get out of the way. And people really can't defend themselves. They're going to be shocked. They're going to wonder what in the world is going on. Next up, look at public transportation. This is someplace where people crowd in on your personal space. And you're getting bumped all the time. When you're going down into the subway, there's that common tactic of actually someone in front of you not being able to get stuck there in the turnstile, someone else bumping in behind you, and all of a sudden, just reaching in and grabbing your wallet, grabbing your phone. Understand, okay, if this is going to happen, I need to have everything on my inside pockets. I need to be aware of this. If I'm going to sit, I'm going to keep my bag right on my lap. Now let's talk about where to keep things on your body. So I like to keep things in close, inside pockets. If it's an outside pocket, all of a sudden the chance of it being stolen is going to shoot up. The only exception to this is zippers. So if you can find clothing that has zippers, maybe on the back pockets, maybe on the pockets here on the outside of the jacket, that is key. A couple other security tactics. Make sure that you know your route. So you don't want to walk out the hotel, be holding your phone, trying to get the signal and using that as your GPS and figuring that out. Yes, I know so many of us default to it, but what else screams this person does not know where they're going? They are a target, a tourist. Someone could just go by and snatch your phone. Another thing, keep as much in your hotel room as you can. I know it's not Fort Knox, but if you've got a safe in there, use it. If you don't have a safe, then use the one down at the front desk. Problem number 3, stylish travelers face wrinkles. Okay, so first off, gentlemen, learn to pack your bag properly. By properly packing your suit, by learning to roll your clothing, all of a sudden you can reduce a lot of the wrinkles when you pull them out of the bag. Next up, when you're at the hotel, the first thing that I do is I grab an iron and I go ahead and prepare and iron all the clothing that needs the iron's attention. Be very careful of hotel irons though, because sometimes the heating setting isn't actually correct. They can be spitting, you put in water, all of a sudden it spits out a bit of rust. So test it on something else that is not your clothing, maybe a pillowcase. And if you're questionable about it, then actually put a pillowcase between your clothing and the iron, and that's going to help protect it. Now let's talk about non-iron clothing, basically wrinkle-resistant clothing. Like I talked about, everything here from Bluffworks is wrinkle-resistant. I threw this in the wash and it came out looking like this. A wrinkle-resistant clothing is where they take an organic fiber or they take basically a synthetic one and they're designed in a way that they're going to instantly bounce back. At the end of the day, what you want to do is test it, try it out before you take that trip. Try that clothing and say, hey, I wore this all day, no wrinkles, it felt great. Boom, that's a great travel shirt for you. Problem number 4 for the stylish traveler is that your clothing gets dirty and laundry is overpriced and slow in the hotel. Have you ever tried it before? It's like you're only there for one day, but they've got a 2 or 3 day service. And they send it out and they're tripling the price. So the best thing that you can do, in my opinion, is you can find, especially if you're going to be someplace for a couple weeks, find a local laundromat that's within walking distance that has same day service, and you're going to find it's at oftentimes a fraction of the price. Now, let's say you don't have access to that. Maybe you've only got 1 or 2 days. Then for me personally, I oftentimes will do some of my laundry right there. For socks, for underwear, for undershirts, I find that, yes, after one wear, I need to wash this. So it's something that I'll just wash right in the sink using regular soap. And I always make sure that the clothing I'm taking with me can deal with this. It's not going to bleed. We're not going to have any issues. And then I just hang it right there in, my hotel room. Understand that most clothing can be worn multiple times before it truly needs to get washed. And in fact, you only need to wash clothing that actually gets dirty. That's why I love undershirts, because it makes your dress shirts last longer. The only area my dress shirts start to show dirt usually is going to be in and around the collar, but no one really sees that. And if I'm wearing a tie, or if it's in that back area, I can wear a shirt sometimes 2 to 3 times before I actually, and I'm talking full day wears, before I have to wash it. Now, when it comes to jackets, this is something that you're not going to need to wash very often unless it really gets something spilt on it or gets really dirty. Oftentimes you can simply air it out. Maybe you were at a place people were smoking, that in that case, simply just take it, maybe put it out on the balcony, make sure it doesn't fly away, button up that button, or just put it in a place next to a vent so air is just going to go through it and it's just going to get rid of that smell. Now let's talk about different fabrics and cleaning. So wool. Understand that wool does a great job of keeping you warm, of insulating heat, but when it gets wet, it's going to retain that moisture. It takes a long time to dry. In addition, whenever wool gets wet, it becomes basically softer. It's more likely to tear, to be reshaped. So you've got to be very careful with wool, and it needs time to dry out. Now, cotton is a lot more durable. You can be very rough with cotton. The issue with cotton, though, is it can take a full 24 hours in a hotel room to dry. I know, I've done it before. Now, when it comes to synthetic materials, I really like these because they're as tough as cotton, but they're oftentimes going to dry in half the time. Stylish traveler problem number 5, space issues. So the first thing is I start off with a small bag. I have traveled for a month in a bag this size. Why go for something like this? Because I can take it on the plane with me, I can maintain it, and I find how much you usually take depends on the size of the bag that you're taking. Now, with that, I'll also take this other bag right here, and that's pretty much all I need. So what this does is it forces me to look at everything I'm taking and to make it the decision. Do I really need to take it? Now, let me show you guys my laptop. I know Ryan Masters and some of my friends make fun of me, but I have this big laptop right here, an old HP. I've actually got a newer one, but it's still the same size. Now, I could take that, or I could simply take this. This does the job. It's an iPad. Yes, I lose some functionality. I could also use this Surface Pro, which does a pretty good job as well. But at the end of the day, you sometimes have to make a small sacrifice. Now, when it comes to your interchangeable wardrobe. So you've heard me talk about this before, guys. Always make sure when you're traveling and you want to travel light that you take clothing that is going to mix and match with each other. The best thing for me is I lay out everything and I look at, okay, if I'm going to take these pair of trousers, are they going to match all the shirts I'm going to take? Are they going to match all the jackets I'm going to take? And all of a sudden, you've got what? 3 pairs of trousers, you've got maybe 4 shirts, and you've got 2 jackets. Again, 3 times 4, 12 times 2, 24 outfits. And I'm not even including shoes here. So when it comes to shoes, I like to actually travel with my biggest shoe on. So let's say I'm going to be taking these Chelseas right here, then they're the largest shoe I'd be taking. And notice I'm taking a lot of loafers. I love traveling with loafers. They allow me to get in and out of security. If I'm going to be spending time on a plane or on a train, I can simply take them off and relax. Small things like this. Let me show you some items that you probably shouldn't take. Both of these shirts, I love them. But you know what? I'm not going to take them when I travel. Why? This one is so loud that everyone's going to remember when I can only wear this one time on the trip, and everyone's going to remember when I wore it. This one right here, it takes cufflinks and it's pretty loud. So both of these are just too memorable. These shirts right here, both of these are good travel shirts, but for different reasons. This is going to be my go-to shirt when I'm actually on the airplane around my kids. Why? It's going to hide stains. This one is going to be great if I've got a meeting. It's light enough that I could match it with this jacket right here, and it would actually look somewhat formal. All right, gents, now it's your turn. I want to hear from you down in the comments. What did you think of this video? How could I have made it better? Guys, I can tell you, I am going to take their jackets with me when I travel to London, I travel to Paris, and I travel to a few other places. I can tell you, it's just great looking gear. And what I love about it is it looks like wool. It actually, this feels amazing. So go check out Bluffworks. If nothing else, write Stefan and his team a nice email. Just tell them you love what they're doing. I love seeing entrepreneurs like that come in, see problems, and create an amazing product. That's it, guys. Take care. I'll see you in the next video.